Hello and welcome to another 2v2 team matchmaker fight on this map, Adaptive Criteria. What an awkward name. But on this map today, our players are in the bottom right corner, Aurico, who will definitely be referred to as Ori from here on because names shouldn't have more than 3 syllables, rarely, unless there are extenuating circumstances, and as far as I'm aware, there are not extenuating circumstances. In yellow, we have Grimplex, building engineers. How remarkable. It wasn't remarkable. In the top left, we have Harzer and Explosive. So I am informed that this is a particularly good game, so hopefully we'll see some good shenanigans. I'm excited. There is quite a lot of reclaim on this map, so players are going to want to get engineers out all higgledy-piggledy all over the map to try and secure the map as much as possible. Air is going to be a big deal for drops and also harassments. That being said, you still very much need to secure the center of the map with ground units. The map is a little choke pointy, so especially with 4 players, this map can be quite choke pointy. You've got these mech clusters here, and you can very secure. You can easily secure your lines. If you secure this choke and this choke over here, you've got, I guess, this vast open area in the middle. So you have one front. It's quite large, but a few sets of PD could definitely see you through. Our spacebar wasn't working for some bizarre reason. I don't know why. So Ori is going to hydrocarbon first because obviously he did. Then now he's building P-Gens and getting the air factory out. So second air. And in the top left we have second air and second air. So everyone choosing to go second air. No real surprises there. Because of the importance of air on this map, and we also have labs coming out from the 2 top left players and from Ori and Grimplex too, although Grimplex was a little slow. That's okay, we're all a little slow sometimes. Air coming out, interceptors and scouts. I wonder if it's bombers or just transports. We'll have to see. Is someone going to be bold enough to try a bomber? With everyone going air, you have to expect interceptors to be on the map, so I'm not sure you'd expect a bomber to work well, though we have seen it work well in the past. We have seen it work very well in the past. But not in this matchup because people have too many interceptors. Everyone going interceptor first. Except Explosive. Yep, he's going to interceptor first. Everyone's going interceptor first. Let's see who's getting the reclaim. We have an engineer out from Ori. He's going quite far forward, and from Explosive as well. I would say Explosive is probably pushing the most in, although this raiding party has been picked up by Ori, so good job to him. The transport is out for Grimplex first, so he is... Okay, he's got quite a complex drop order, which is good because that's kind of what you need from this map, securing this little plateau. And then these mexes here, and then this little phallic shaped structure with mass on it down there. So that's good. That's good. That is good. So everyone kind of living in the T1 phase with transports, except Explosive. Everyone's got transport out except Explosive, and that's, I would describe as questionable. Explosive does have interceptors on Ori's transport. We'll see if they go down. He's juking it very nicely. He's got his own interceptors to come in and help. It looks like it will survive, but he drops them prematurely anyway. Harzer dropped here first. It looks like Grimplex elected to not drop there in the end. I don't see any engineering racks, so I'm not quite sure what happened to the engineers he did send down there. Perhaps they were already reclaimed while we were watching that air fight. And Harzer securing the top right plateau. And whatever the fuck this is. Well, he's got that too. Such weird little structures on this map. Oh, that mech marine's gonna have a bad day. How's a flare? So in terms of matchup, it's both sides have one UEF and one Aeon. So that's quite cool. Let's turn the explosion sounds a little bit up. I often find that subcom gets too quiet and then too loud. The explosions get very loud very quickly, as I suppose they should do. This flare is going to take too long to kill these mechs, so I wonder if he'll live and try. They're really here for to kill engineers. But if there aren't any engineers, I guess Max is the next best thing, but they take a very, very long time. So the T1 air fight, Russell hustle, but Ori has this one in the bag. He has quite a lot more than both grey and blue combined. That being said, Harzer is still able to fly his transport around and drop engineers where he needs to. In terms of comms going forward, that's quite a good thing to talk about. Grimplex is pushing his comm forward, and there's very little reason to not push your comm forward on this map. He can really secure these clusters of mechs. There are 4 mechs here together, so I'll definitely move my comm forward. He's only worth 2 engineers at home. You just have to find the right timing to send him forward so you don't suffer from a lack of build power at home. Grimplex being aggressive, taking the forward mexes, choosing to not take these 3 vacant mexes in the back just yet, finding out he has more important things to bother with. Harzer trying to secure his expansion. He sees that shenanigans are coming through, dropping engineers to secure it, which seems unwise. No, this isn't a securing at all. This is a suicide run. Oh, that was a failure. He's trying to secure that. He put in the effort. He sent the resources, but it just didn't work out. He got Bomber out for Ori. 1-2 on Bomber at this point in the game. It's a bit... What you doing, buddy? What you here to do? There are no engineers for you here to kill. Actually, I mean, that's a lie, there are. Still, players are trying to secure the plateaus. More air fighting. Now blue and yellow are having a tussle. Looks like blue's ahead. But Grimplex is sending a nice reinforce forward into a vulnerable location. Ooh, I made it sound too loud again. They're doing explosions. If you guys could just stop shooting each other a little bit, that would be fantastic. Okay. So, Explosive has determined that there is a gap after the run by from Grimplex has been... What was it, Grimplex? I'm sorry. But either which way, Explosive is pushing his run by through, charging straight into some T1 PD, which will totally shut this down immediately. The mexes are clustered quite nicely, so throwing a T1 PD to secure them is actually a pretty good idea. I mean, they're a little expensive, but they completely nullify an Aurora or Striker run by. It forces your opponent to bring in RD, it forces them to micro a little bit more. For an APM below player such as myself, I find them indispensable. They really just help secure your mexes and scale them from run-bys, even if they are somewhat cost efficient. They are APM efficient. Explosive shooting up some of Grimplex's tanks, creating a nice reclaim field here. Grimplex sending mass to Ori. I wonder if he has a special project he is working on. Where's his commander? Walking forward, doing commander things. So top left team, their commanders are together now. I don't see any upgrades on commanders yet. The map doesn't really suit commander combat too much. The map's too big for a commander to have a huge impact on any sector of the map, so not a terrible decision to forego upgrades just yet, although I definitely would expect to see at least engineering upgrades on them at the appropriate time. We might see some other upgrades too. The the auto pulse, the auto stop, the chrono dampener upgrade on the Aeon commander can be extremely powerful. It'd be very fun to see that, but we'll see, because that's more of a late game upgrade. It's not really geared for T1 combat, but I've seen it do disgusting things in games. It's completely changed and win games. So top left team is choosing to push with their commanders. Grimplex has a huge run by under going just right past them and hopefully into the base. We've got T2 mexes out for Harzer. Not for Ori yet, but for Grimplex. So Ori is actually not keeping up with Eco. So that's a worry. That's a big worry, because this game escalates quickly on this map, and if you aren't keeping up with the Eco, it's going to be bad news bears. Grimplex is fully occupying the attention of Harzer and Explosive up in the north, trying to do a run by, trying to cause some damage done, and hopefully Ori's not able to capitalize. Gray's been able to really occupy his attention with not much, which is a shame. So Grimplex is trying to get into the base, trying to kill some T2 mexes. It doesn't look like this is going to be a successful push. If he focus fires the T2 mex, he might be able to take it out, but he's going to lose his entire force and give a whole bunch of reclaim to the top of the base. But he is going to take out the first T2 mex. I don't think he will get another one. So hard to know if that push was worth it, especially considering he might leave his commander in a vulnerable position, but no, I think he's going to be fine. He's getting T2, he's got T1 PD, he's got enough units there. I think he's going to be okay. In this tussle in the top left hand corner, it looks like Harzer is going to secure it. He's got land factory, he's got 2 engineers, and Ori is losing his engineers to a Aurora that was just built. So we've got fights all over the map, except here. Here it is quiet, and this is good for Grimplex because this is where his eco is. Also in the top right hand, Harzer's little base here also being unmolested. A TML up here I feel could be highly effective when these are T2 maxes. You don't have TML and T1 max, that's really not worth it, but getting a TML up in these corner bases when you have targets seems like an excellent idea. Ori's still not getting T2 maxes in his base. This is a mistake. On a map like this size, I worry for him and his partner. He's got none. Let's do the count. Grimplex has 7 explosive. Oh, that was the storages. Explosive has 7, and Harzer has 8, and some of these are actually capped as well. So when you're this far behind, you can't really even bother. You can't really even catch up in eco, because everyone else is just going to keep accelerating, and it's hard to have an impact on the game when you're this far behind in eco. So it's a real shame. Just build all the mistakes, I think. Big fight in the middle. Looks like blue's going to take it. Oh, we have swift wins. That's interesting. So that's an immediate caution for Mercies when you see swift wins about, because obviously you know they've T2, but no intention of going T2, going T3. To be fair, if he was going to do Mercies, he should never have shown his swift wins. It's a dead giveaway. So what is Grimplex going to do? More run-bys, trying to do more damage than the mass is giving. I don't know if that's currently the state of things, but he's definitely focusing their attention here and not here where he can get rated. So wheels and roundabouts, has to deal with some T1 PD. So he has brought in the RD, but he still needs to make sure he doesn't walk his tanks in range. So Grimplex really doing the bulk of the lion's share here. But Harzer's eco is growing, and I fear exponentially, so something's going to have to be done about this Harzer guy. He's becoming a problem. Explosive as well. I'm not sure where this game goes. Or it goes into T3 air, that's where it's going. So many options when you hit T3. A fast strap bomber can be devastating, but what do we have here? We have Grimplex stockpiling gunships. And there's only really one reason I think he would choose to do that. And I would think that's for a snipe? Stinger's not the best choice for... What the fuck? You've got some hero Lobo here with 9 kills, just chilling in the back, killing PD, no one giving any fucks. Full 5-vet Lobo PD. And this is what happens when people are fully occupied with the APM. No one's noticing this, no one's doing anything about this. God knows how many of these maxes this thing actually killed. And he can't even be bothered to move him to kill the next T2 max, which is a shame. So Ori getting completely bullied by pillars. He has no reply, no answer to this, he's just going to die. The gunships might be used to help with the T2 land. I'm still not sure exactly where he's going to go, but with Harzer in T3 air, he doesn't have much of a window, and I'm not entirely sure what he's going to be able to do. Harzer also choosing to go T2 gunships and ASFs, a nice scout coming out too that's going to allow him to actually know what's going on, and should realize the situation. So Grimplex, what is this eco at? This is going to be a big eco game. It really does depend how much these guys are ahead in eco. So still T2 maxes. I don't think I've seen a T3 max yet. Oh, our hero Lobo is in fact going forward and killing another T2 max. This is a fucking hero. And no one's noticed. No one's noticed. This is the value of overloading people's APM. Okay, Grimplex has finally noticed. I wonder how many more shells he's going to need to get. No. Shut down. But boy, was that close. Definitely worth the effort. That is a hero. So Harzer pushing the top right with big land supported by big air. We have a TML from Grimplex. I did very much recommend this as an option. Hopefully he gets at least one missile off before it gets shut down, because that's going to get shut down pretty fucking fast. Please shoot, please shoot, please shoot, please shoot. Please shoot, please shoot. Please notice, please shoot, please shoot, please shoot. Oh, it's not going to... It's not the biggest thing in the world, but it's a shame. So Grimplex should definitely not take this air fight. He will lose hard. He needs to husband his air forces until he can overwhelm. At this point, you're going to have to get in some flak because these gunships are going to bully you. Trying to pick up the gunships without committing to the air fight, but he is being forced to commit to the air fight anyways. Yeah, I mean, he did focus the gunships. You're going to lose the air fight. Try not to lose the mexes, but you're going to lose both, I think. We do have one railgun out that will clear up the gunships, so one mex is saved. It's looking bad, but we do have the strike bomber out for the top left-hand team. So that was actually really good. What Harzer did there is he forced an important enough fight that the bottom team had to commit the air and then killed it so that his bomber would have a free run. That being said, the ASF are already out to stop it, but obviously he's going to have a much easier time with those ASF down. We have a land battle up in the top, still pushing, and the explosive is still pushing in the south as well. But this strap bomber is going to try and get damage done, and is. One T2 max down so far, one P-Gen, T2 P-Gen out as well. That bomb is going to... He's targeting the T3 P-Gen, but I don't think he's going to make it because he got shot in the fucking back. I wonder if he'll try and send in another strap bomber to take out the T3 P-Gen. It's probably not the worst idea. We're getting a gun upgrade on explosive, so I mean, I guess there's a horde of T1 and T2 PDs, so that gun will be very helpful. But Grimplex is going to have to put some serious shit out of the bag. Ori is basically doing the best he can do to not die. Actually, no. It looks like Ori has caught up an eco. He's going T3 max, which is good, but you definitely want storages around it. Storages around the T3 max is just always an absolute must. That it's you just have to do it. If you don't, it's just a mistake. There's really no two ways around it. Because it gives a proportional bonus, right? And if your max makes more mass, then you get more bonus from it. Or we're trying to hold off this push. I feel like Explosive's attention isn't fully in the bottom left-hand corner, and if it was, he'd be having much more success here. But Grimplex is kind of holding, not kind of, is holding their attention in the north with his land pushes, and at least denying these mexes here. A big deal is who's getting the reclaim. And it seems like it's mostly the top left team. There is some reclaim here. It doesn't look like Grimplex is sending engineers to claim them. Hopefully he will soon, because that should really matter. So T3 air for T3 air out for both. We've got Percival's coming out now, one of my favoriteest units, because they're amazing, is the reason. Grimplex charging in again. I don't know about this push. He seems quite outmatched and outgunned and out-aired, and he's thought better of it and turning tail and running like he should. Bottom is going to come in for an airstrike with their team of ASF, and with Red's help now, who actually has a nice cluster of ASF, they should be able to win that. So Ori does seem to be catching up in eco. I would still say definitely behind, but not as badly as before. Oh boy. Clearing out the mexes in the bottom, that's good. I wonder if he's going to... He went for another... He rebuilt the TML. He's clearing out the T2 mexes up here. I did miss the launches, but it is here, and I'm glad that it is, because it's very useful. It would be good if Harzer did the same thing in the bottom left-hand corner. Because it's not worth it, because Ori doesn't have the targets to shoot. Titan's doing run-bys, that's annoying, but but competently being dealt with by stingers, which is a rare thing to say. But singular titans, not that powerful. Titans I find to be extremely underwhelming. They have speed, and given time, they will be able to kill T2 mexes. But given time, got TML coming out from Ori, which is great to see. Doesn't seem to be any TMD up. Like this is a bit rough actually. It's 25 minutes, and does anyone have TMD? Yeah, bottom team Grimplex has TMD, but top team doesn't seem to care about TMD. Oh, this got upgraded into T3 and it's going to get hit by a TML, which is like the worst thing because I think a T3 mex can survive one TML hit. Is that right? I think it might, but not if it's upgrading. So this is going to get a massive hit. Oof. And the storages too, and some engineers. So Explosive going to learn the importance of TMD. There was ambition of a drop, or he accidentally bought more than he needed, but he's going to reclaim them too. Okay, so Harzer going gunships. I wonder if anyone's going to consider actually going a snipe. Already doing a drop with obsidians in the top base, which I really like. I was a bit concerned that maybe obsidians wouldn't be enough to clear this out, but I think they are. If you micros them. I don't think flares are the response to obsidians. Maybe they are. Flares actually have a huge amount of DPS and they take hits and you're going to overshoot them a lot. So these PD and these flares are going to hold this. Yeah, I was thinking like obsidians might not be enough. You really want to set up a hub, but oh, that TML is getting work done, son. Loving it. 12 kills, absolutely loving it. This one here, somewhat less love. It's like when parents have, let's say, a good child and a slightly less good child. That's what these TMLs are like. You know who you are. Okay, carrying on. I like the use of the parashields with the pillars and the obsidian and the titans and the Perseus. I like it. It's good to see. It takes some effort to get it right. And you have Perseus out for Grimplex as well. What I really want to see is I want to see a ball. I want to see an absolute ball of Perseus, 20, 30, 40 strong, just marching down their throats because there's not much that stops them, especially if you keep in some cougars in them. If you don't know what a cougar is, it's the UEF Mobile AA, and they are great. So if anyone's going to do it, it's probably going to be Explosive, but he's building too many Titans. I don't like it. I don't like Titans. I think they're... I don't like them. Hey, we've got Spearheads. I don't often get to see them, and I never build these things. Because Titans... Oh, I mean Perseus. I'm getting my Titans and Perseus all sorts of confused. So we've got T2 gunships doing work. I'm sorry, these aren't T2, these are T3 gunships doing work. Trying to push the land, push back, but we've got a horde of ASF from Harzer. I don't know who has enough ASF here, I don't know who has the most, but if they're going to engage one by one, a big deal is going to be how they engage. Okay, so this red bunch of units just like move towards and kill the spearheads, like, and you win. Okay, big air fight, big air fight. Blue is busy crushing red. Red runs away. The restorers, some live, most don't. At this point in the game, I kind of think that you just have to give all your ASF to the same person to micro. The risk of going in piecemeal is bad and too high. So if I was Explosive, I'd just give all my ASF to Harzer. And I'm not sure who should be controlling the ASF and the bottom team. But for sure, it'd be so much easier if Explosive just gave the ASF to Harzer. That being said, they've been microed very well, competently together. So, but it's using two people's micro to do the same amount of thing. It's not efficient. But Harzer and Explosives absolutely clean up the air fight. And Ori has all these gunships now, which are just going to be useless because they don't have air. Don't send these in. This is suicide. Don't send these in. I don't know what you're doing. Oh, I know what he's doing. He's taking out the TMD so he can TML it. If you took out the TMD, you could TML this. Like, I really didn't like that. I thought that was a massive waste. They even got pinged. Still explosive, choosing to go a lot of Titans. I don't like it. Percy's are so much better. People say Percy's don't kill T1, but they do. Not time efficiently, but they kill them. Personal preference, yeah. Okay, so there's mass gonna be raining from the sky in all these air fights. A big deal is always gonna be who controls the mass field. And it's not clear who's gonna control this mass field. Oh, there's some big wrecks. That looks like that was once upon a time a restorer. But I think Ori and Grimplex are gonna have to include some AA into everything, because there are a horde of gunships which they have no answer for. And these gunships are great because they can clean up mexes all over the map. I don't really quite know how I feel about this force here. It's just kind of like standing and defending where it could be pushing and killing. Blazers. Why Blazers? Like, can someone say that they're good against T1? I know, but I don't know what to say. T2 gunships killing T3 power grids. This is cruel and unusual. I want to say this should never happen, but it's happening. This is bad. I mean, it's some mass that got rain from the sky, but that's bad. Still not power stalling, so that's great. Ori has got 14k in the bank. Grimplex has not that. Explosive and Harzer. Harzer has 11k in the bank. So when players have this amount of mass in the bank, you just gotta spend it. So you gotta think like, hey, GC time? It's not quite enough for a GC time, but it's enough for you to think that maybe you should. So I like Titans being sent on raiding parties like this. This is good. If they had stayed to kill the T3 max, that'd be better. But keeping Titans with your Percys, I don't like it. Like, unless of course they're sending hordes and hordes and hordes of Lobos to overwhelm your Percys. Yeah, Percys against Titans. I mean, I know it's not a fair contest because Percys cost way much more than Titans, but this has gone poorly. Okay, so what do the players do? It's 34 minutes in. You actually do need to start thinking about a nuke. Oblivion is an interesting choice. I guess it's not that interesting because they're like ground units to worry about. Is top team thinking about a nuke because a nuke is helpful? Experimentals would be helpful too. Any kind of like chicken or GC, not chickens because you don't have Seraphim. Fire Boys I think are trash. I don't like them. But a GC is an option for both players. I think is a very viable option. Oh my god, more! Oh my god, more T3 PGens going down, and things are going to explode with them. This is so sad to see. I don't think he's going to get another one. At least there's quite a large mass donation. It's kind of a... So the bottom team seems to control more of the map if you count the wave of destruction that exists. We've got strap bombers coming in surely after the other PGens. Man, if Grimplex is not power stalling now. Yeah, minus 5k. I don't know how you come back from this. I'm gonna say it straight up. I don't know how you come back from this. This kind of power stall is crippling. It's so bad. So he's got T2 PD holding off Titans, which they will because Titans aren't good at being hit in the face. So it's good to see Ori pushing forward. That's good. Hopefully he'll see some damage done. But top team has so many gunships and you have no answer for them. Okay, there is some answer. There's actually quite a fair bit of flak, but you must know this is going to be cleaned up and going to be reclaimed. You must know that. So you have to do more damage than what you're going to give. And with broadswords out, I don't know. It's taking attention away. So I don't know how I feel about this. I think bottom team is very much on the defensive. We can upgrade Grimplex is probably going to be a T3 upgrade. I'll be interested to see what he is going to build. Maybe Ravagers, maybe not. But he needs power plants. God, he needs power plants. Where did this power come from? He just paused everything. Which is what he needs to do, to be fair. Because he needs power. And he is going to have so much mass in the bank. Because he can't spend because he doesn't have power. What's Ori up to? Okay, so yeah, okay, nuke, good. So I did mention that this was probably a very good option for either side at this point. It's kind of a problem in the sense that it's very energy intensive and bottom team has some huge energy issues. So maybe there's a better way around it. Zah coming out as well. So, and strap on, so it'll be... So do they have an SMD? I don't think that they have, but you gotta be thinking about nukes at 35-40 minutes. You have to be thinking about them. And very often, you might just want to build an SMD just because it's this late in the game. So it has been scouted. Top team knows it exists. It has been scouted. So I think their plan I think it's quite obvious what their plan is. They're going to try and crash the Zara on top of it, which is definitely not the worst plan. More strap bombers coming in. I think this is going to try and reinforce the power store, which they must think bottom team must be having. No, don't go for the nuke. It's too heavily shielded. Don't do it. Good players make mistakes too. And that was a mistake, and it was an obvious mistake. This is too heavily shielded. It wasn't going to work. I guess they were desperate. And I don't know that they know that they're out of time, but they are very much out of time. Because that nuke is going. Yeah, guys, this is not a thing that's going to happen. So what you do as top team, you build one SMD, but you also need to build another SMD out of range of the first. So that is 100% not going to load in time. But what this does mean is that when the nuke almost certainly gets sent here, this SMD should be loaded for the second one. So that's why you always want well, shit. Grimplex died. That was unexpected. There is a GC coming out too, so there's a lot going on at the moment. I'm not catching all of it. There's a GC coming down for the bottom team as well. So, yeah, so when you're behind the 8 ball on nukes, what you want to do is you want to build 2 SMDs, 1 nuke blast apart, so they can't both be taken down by the same one. So yes, you're probably going to let the first nuke in. It's not good, it's quite terrible, but you can stop the second. And if you can stop the second nuke, you might still be in the game. There's a horde of strap bombers coming through. It's hard to see how Aurico is going to stop them. They can probably kill his command if they want to, because I don't think there's enough shielding to stop that many strap bombers. Alternatively, they might go for the nuke, but go for the strap bombers. I don't think Aurico will survive this. He does inherit all of what Grimplex had. Does Ori save the day? My gut says no. But his second nuke is already like 40%. This SMD is still not loaded. I don't think it will beat it, but it should be able to still take out a lot of what it doesn't beat. The GC is ready, but I can't fucking see the damn thing. Well, here it is. So we've got GC versus GC. But we have so many brawl swords and so many strap bombers. Oh, strap bombers from Ori too. I missed those, but they're going. They're going. We have this TML, which apparently doesn't have kills, but has vet, so that's cool. Yeah, this is not good. You can't send Perseus out all by themselves at this stage in the game. So the GCs are going to have a little shoot phase. Okay, yeah, so the South team is going to clearly win this fight, even getting help from PD, which isn't required. I was wondering if the air would come in to help win the GC fight, but they'll be too late for that. So both GCs probably will go down. It doesn't look like Ori has enough AA up in the north. Surely the strap bombers are... Harzer's dead. Okay, this is so fucking amazing actually, because Harzer is dead. So these strap bombers are going to transfer to explosives control, which means their attack orders are going to be all fucked up. This strap bomber run could not have come at a better time. So let's see what happens here, because they might just go to random different targets and completely fuck up the run and all die and not work. And yeah, see how they switched. Okay, but it seems like Explosive was on it like a fucking madman. He attacked the PJ. No! No! I think you have to go for the commander. It was just before I was to kill you. That was amazing. Yeah, because it's lost the order. That's exactly right. So you have an SMD up for explosives. Explosives mass income dwarfs Grimplex, I mean Ori's, but he has an SMD up. It is loaded, but this second nuke should take up the top of the base. There's so much mass reclaim in Ori's base. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen here. This is nuts. This is absolute nuts. Okay, so so there's enough PD in the south that we have learned to be able to handle this ground push. Oof, that's some overkill on that Lobo. But what happens here? So ton of reclaim in red space. Oh my god, he has no idea about his broadswords. He's completely... He doesn't even know these exist, because they weren't his. So someone pinged them. These broadswords could do big damage. But they're all wounded, so at this point, you kind of also need to start thinking about air staging facilities and repairing them. Okay, so... Oh my goodness, why? Okay, so... Explosive has map control, and Red has mass in his base from everything that has died. He's just going mad on GCs. He's still building nukes. Ori should have more power, more mass than he knows what to do with, and he does have more power than he knows what to do with. He's got tons of T3 engineers. The both players are trying to give them helpful pings to help them out. What Ori needs is more AA. He must have more ASF as well. There's strap bombers coming in for a run on the GC, which I don't hate because this is free damage. They should not go into range of the SAMs as they are doing. So that will make the GC think better of things, but this wasn't worth losing strap bombers for. Keep him in the base, don't lose the strap bombers. We've got broadswords, we knew that already. He's going T3 air factory spam. What is explosives eco at? He is somehow managed to spend all his mass. Well, Earth is a building. Okay, smashed down an SMD, but that is not where his mass is going. I have no idea where his mass expense is going. Is it going to strap bombers? Yeah, I think it's mostly going to strap bombers. He's building them out of nearly all his air factories. And if he keeps that up, he will lose air control. Some RT up here, somehow managing to traverse this terrain in a most unreasonable manner. Because you have wheels. Do you know you have wheels? I'm just checking if they do actually have wheels, and they do have wheels. So you should not be able to traverse that terrain with wheels. You need legs. So 2 GCs out for Ori, but they can't go out because they'll die to strap bombers. There's a whole heap of mexes here which aren't being built, or if they are being built, they're being unbuilt. Which is the technically correct term for destroyed. Or what? Rapid disassembly. So there's a lot of mexes on the map which aren't being built, but there's probably just much too much for both of these players to struggle with in their lives. strap bombers are being built up for explosive. That's clearly how he intends to end this game. But this is such a dangerous maneuver. It so often doesn't work. And if Ori knows about it, he should just be able to sit under shields. Though I can't see his comm right now. Going at Novax, what the hell, dude? What is this game? But where's your commander? I can't see it. Where is your commander? Here he is. Okay, so that's a Saku. That's not his commander. Well, if I have perfect vision and I can't find the damn thing, how's the enemy supposed to? Let's go to his vision. Does that help? Ha! No, it doesn't. It must be here. Where are you? Here he is. Okay. So one thing that I do like, and I was specifically looking for it, is whether or not he had shield. Because shield here is a big deal. It helps so much against strap bombers. What I very much don't like is that he's not sitting under shields. I would not use him for full power at this point in the game. It is too dangerous. Keep him safe. I'd definitely keep him under like a cluster of shields. I might build more shields just for him, because you must know he's going to try a comm snipe. You must know it. They've been building strats all the live day long. We've got T1 scouts coming in. That's not good enough to see this, because they need T3 scouts at this point in the game. We've got such air control. Okay, so what would I do if I was Ori's position? I know exactly what I'd do. I'd put Cougars. I'd put a lot of Cougars and I'd walk them behind the GC. I would force him to come in with air to attack the ground and then wreck his air with the Cougars. That's 100% what I would do. I'd also bait air fights, again with Cougars, send in ASF, bait them in, fly them over the Cougars and shoot them up. Because with 2 GCs you can clear up the land easy peasy, you already have the right tools. It's the air that will fuck you. So I'd go Cougars. So many Cougars. Not so many Cougars, also Perseus. This is not the right decision. I can confidently say that I do not think that is the right decision. So 15k, yeah, it's... So the strap bombers were sent without air support. I hate this. Okay, so the ASF... Okay, so Ori didn't get the run on the ASF. There's so many strap bombers here, it's hard to see how they don't work actually. Explosive was good and patient. A lot of people aren't patient, a lot of people don't wait for enough. So they just have to right click on Ori's comm and I think it's a win. Yeah. If this was Cougars, this wouldn't have happened. So that was actually a really cool game. It was a really cool game. It was such a fuck up that when Harzer died, his strap bombers were on the final approach of his run. And those orders got mucked up, and that didn't go through. That gave bottom team a massive advantage. It wasn't really that important that Harzer died. What was important was that the orders on the strap bombers got reset, and also the broadsides were forgotten about. So thank you very much for watching. This was an amazing game. So thanks for sending it through. And this is going to be a special comment. Grimplex sent this replay in, and typically when people send in replays, they're usually on the winning team. So it's always worth a shout out when they're not on the winning team and even when they die. So thanks for this replay, it was really cool. And if you have good replays, please send them through. I'm always looking for good replays and good games to cast. So thank you very much for that and I hope to see you next time. Okay, bye.